The midlife wake up call I didn't see coming. Oh my God. Oh my God. Blessings to all. I am Dr. Iris Fambro Carter, and welcome to Midlife Magnificent, where midlife shines. On this channel, we discuss challenges, crossroads, and successes. But I want you guys to know that this is not the beginning of the end. It's basically just a new direction. Guys, I didn't plan to reinvent myself in midlife, but I knew I had to survive it. So I made a plan and I did. I planned to survive. You guys may relate to this. This is what I was going through when I turned 40s, in my 40s, early 40s. Burnout, invisibility, identity shift, unexpected glow up. Are you serious? Did you ever look in the mirror and thought, who am I now? This one's for you. Before I discovered a new me or realized, hey, I'm entering a different phase in life, I was already in that comfortable rut, right? And kind of, you can probably relate to this. Stable career, family handle. And in my case, my daughter was already in college and my son only had about 3 years left in high school. So, we were making plans, right? I'm like, I'm getting excited, right? I felt like all my responsibilities had been met, but internally, I was kind of exhausted with the day-to-day humdrum, the productivity. Feel like I was just an engine, a robot doing what I'm supposed to do every day and had really forgotten a piece of myself. That's what had happened, right? Um, some of you, now for me, I didn't feel exhausted, but you may have felt that way. You may have felt invisible. And I actually did. I did. I felt invisible. And you may felt like you were living on autopilot, which I actually did. Because, see, you know what happened? We bought into the lie. We actually believed that, hey, this is midlife. This is what our parents went through. So here we are. We have gravitated, we have aged to this part time in our lives. And this is exactly what it's supposed to be like. Um, you know, Thinking about yourself, you wouldn't do that. That's kind of a selfish thing to do. You really needed to focus on other people. That's what we were always told, that we needed to focus on other people and push ourselves to the back burner. But that ain't true. It ain't true. Let me tell you something. Um, so when I was probably about 42 years old, I had a good job. I was a flight attendant. I truly enjoyed it, right? But it was something about it. I said, I just feel like I'm missing out on some things. I just want to do something different. And that's when it hit me. I reflected back on when I was a child. I told myself I was going to be a psychologist. Yeah, be a psychologist, right? And I set out to do it. I'm like, I'm going to enroll in school. I'm going to get my master's degree and I'm going to get my PhD in psychology. And so right now I teach psychology in college. I am Dr. Iris Fambro Carter, and that's how I became that because I had to look at it in this regard. I could either turn this age and still be stuck in that comfortable rut, or I could do what I really wanted to do in life. That was my life's passion. And here I am, right? That was my wake up call. Your wake up call may be something different. You may have had a health scare, may have had the empty nest silence, right? Kids are going like, oh, my God, what to do with myself? Career plateau, or a quiet breakdown moment where you realize, hey, I had built a life, but I misplaced myself. I forgot about me. The uncomfortable truth is no one was coming to rediscover me. I had to rediscover me. I had to look internally and figure out what I needed to do. Now, let me tell you, I had some naysayers along the way. I did. I can imagine some of the stuff that was told to me. I probably had 10 more people behind the scenes thinking that I was nuts. Right? So, but it's okay. It's okay. People will when you decide to rediscover yourself, you're gonna get that. You will get people that will say, "Well, okay, she's lost her mind. What is going on with you?" Right? But guys, I want you to know, midlife is not a crisis. It's an invitation to discover who you are, who you were meant to be. This is the messy middle for a reason, in between older age and young age, right? But this is where the magic begins. This is what I want you guys to know. Uh, some of you probably can relate to this. Have tried new things, have failed publicly or privately, right? Felt silly starting over, even though I didn't. Like I told you, I had people telling me, "Oh, you don't lost your mind, girl." Probably felt that way. Not me, but some of you guys have probably felt that way. It's okay. Just want you to know that you have a team of people pulling for you. You can do it. You can. You're not alone. And what I want you guys to do, if you are experiencing that, where you feel like I am, I'm getting some pushback, and I'm feeling like I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. There are so many support groups out there that are online. You may find some in your community too. Now, for me, when I went back to school to get my master's and my PhD, I did seek out some of these support groups online. Now, like I said, I never felt like I was doing the wrong thing, but what I did, I went into these groups and I read what others were dealing with. So it humanized it a lot. It made me understand that a lot of us are dealing with a lot of different things because we're trying to reinvent ourselves. But I want you to know that you have a large support group out there, and reach out to them, right? Right? You probably have feared rejection or judgment, right? Or in some cases, some people sometimes, or some of you guys have lost friends or lost your identity, or some of the habits, the good habits that you had, or maybe you've gotten rid of some bad habits, right? That would be a good thing because you're reinventing yourself, right? But I want you guys to know that reinvention isn't glamorous. You know, I remember when I was a flight attendant, and we were being an overnight, and the crew, a lot of times, at least one night, we would like to get together and go eat together, right? And so, but most of the time when I was in there writing papers or reading, studying, I would just grab something from the restaurant downstairs, bring it to my room, and I would have dinner there. And I would just forego that because I knew that if I put in the time now, it's going to pay off in the long run, right? Right? But you may have those moments that you feel like quitting, and that's where you need to have that wonderful support group. Yeah, you're going to have that support group. I know there are a lot of people out there that are willing and able to reach out and give you a helping hand, right? But you have to make sure that you set your boundaries, not in a malicious uh, way, but just make sure that people know this is what you're striving towards, right? Man, oh man, the glow up, right? We know our bodies just didn't change physically. Internally, we change too, right? Um, we probably have, for me, I gained a confidence that isn't loud. is pretty grounded. I feel very confident in myself. And you can't really say much to me to shake me from not believing this or that. One of the things I knew that I had really impacted some people, the moment I realized I had impacted a lot of people, was when my daughter threw me a graduation party when I became Dr. Carter. I may upload that video so you guys can see it. But to see the looks on everyone's faces, there's a lot of people there too, to celebrate me for this accomplishment. And just imagine if I had let those naysayers get into my ear, get into my head, and convince me that the path that I was taking was the wrong one. Just imagine. I'm telling you guys, this is just a beautiful thing. And I'm here for you. I am. I am. What you'll probably notice too doing the glow up that you'll care less about being liked. Yeah, I remember when I was, in school K through 12, I wanted to be liked by everybody, and now it's okay. I do these videos to inspire other people and to give some advice and to just, so that we can be a support group. Whether you like the video, it's okay. Whether you like it or not, I prefer that you like it. But if you don't, I'm not offended by it because it's not for everybody. It's not, right? You have to learn also how to say no without apologizing. Take back yourself. Don't have a piece of you going here, a piece of you going there. You can take back your life, right? Learn to dress for yourself too. I always tell people my mom was such a girly girl, and you had to have your heels on and dry your dresses. I'm telling you, I'm mainly in blue jeans or some type of exercise gear. Unless I'm going to teach. Well, actually, they allow us to wear blue jeans now at the school. We can't wear sneakers, but we can wear jeans. And so I definitely take advantage of that. Okay. Guys, I want you guys to know that it's you're never too old to start anything. You're never too old to start it. So for me, this wasn't about becoming someone new. It was about remembering who I was before the world told me who to be. We live by all these scripts. You are a mommy, so you're supposed to act a certain way. You are a flight attendant, so with that job, you should act a certain way, but you get what I'm saying? You are in middle age now, so you're supposed to dress and act a certain way. And that's not true. You have to embrace who you are, be who you are, and enjoy that person, right? You're in that skin. You need to enjoy you. The lesson here, guys, is that midlife is not decline, it's discernment, it's clarity, it's power without performance. It's finally understanding that you are not behind, that you are not too old, and you're not done. So I invite you guys to let me know what part of you is waiting to be reclaimed. If you feel this message, if you want more of this, I want you to type in the comments section, power up, okay? Because that's what we're doing. We're supporting each other. We are sisters. We're going to support each other through this. Tell me your wake up moment too, if you feel comfortable doing so. And if not, I want you to write that down and reflect on that for yourself. You don't have to share. If you don't feel like sharing, it's okay. Just let yourself know so you can reflect on what your wake up moment was, right? If you want more conversations like this, please subscribe so you'll see when I drop the next video. I'm trying to do at least 1 to 2 a week. That is the goal. I do know a lot of people in all kind of facets of the world. So as the show, my channel says that we'll talk about health issues, right? We'll talk about, the transition in life. I'll see if I can get some guests on the show who have more knowledge than I do in certain areas when it comes to finance, when it comes to maybe, some of the physical changes. Maybe we'll get a gynecologist on board with us one day. But at any rate, that's what we're going to do on the show. And as always, guys, I really thank you for your time. It's very, very, it's a wonderful thing. I really appreciate it because you could have tuned in elsewhere, but you're listening to me, so that really makes me smile. So, of course, sending blessings back to you guys for that because I mean, it's definitely felt. I really appreciate it. And as always, I'll sign off on this channel. And I want you guys to know too, before we go, that we all are aging boldly. You guys have a blessed one.